Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Deontay Johnson seems to take a very subtle shot at offense coordinator Matt Canada via social media. If you haven't heard, Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota, right now they're doing a TV show kind of on Netflix called The Quarterback, where it gets insight to their off the field and on their field work from last season and going into this current season. So, this specific tweet on the screen right now is by Coach Dan Casey, and Deontay Johnson responded to it. Here's what Coach Dan Casey said. Andy Reid gives his players the freedom to design plays. And then he quotes what was said in the video by Patrick Mahomes. Here's what was said in the video. They have to be perfect because when Coach Reid sees them, he has to like them. And then Coach Dan Casey says this. This is how you get your athletes to buy in to the offense. So, Deontay Johnson, he responded by 2 fire emojis. So, some might think that he took a subtle shot at Matt Canada because Matt Canada doesn't really have too bright of a play calling and he doesn't really have innovation from the offense. We all know Kenny Pickett. He was not allowed to switch plays or do anything like that last season. So, is Deontay Johnson taking a shot? He might be taking a little bit, kind of a subtle shot. This past season for Deontay Johnson, it was his worst season in the NFL, I believe specifically. You might be able to say his rookie season was his worst, but I believe this season was his worst out of every season so far in his career. And that's because even though in 2019, when he came in as a rookie, he only finished with 680 yards, he only appeared in 12 games. But this past season, he played in all 17 and he only had 882 yards. So, he had 0 touchdowns this past season, but in 2019 it is 5 touchdowns. So at least he put up some production in the touchdown area. That's why I believe 2019 was still better than this past season, and this past season was his worst. And he might be frustrated because it was his worst season, and he just got paid last season, so he wants to prove his worth in his contract. But in 2021, he just came off his best season of his career. He played in 14 games, and he had 169 targets for 107 receptions, 1,161 yards with 8 receiving touchdowns. He was just coming off his best season, but the offense was not good last year, as we all know, especially early on. It seems like 3 and outs were the thing for the Steelers offense, and they were not able to get anything clicking, and that was both quarterback play, but it was still kind of Matt Canada's play calling, not getting specific people involved in the offense. You would think as an offensive coordinator, you would be able to get your number 1 wide receiver some easy looks, whether that be via slants, screens, or whatever. Just get him open or have him run his specialty route, which is his comeback route. But as we all know, the slants were kind of taken out of the offense, and that was what Deontay Johnson thrived in 2021 with Ben Roethlisberger, running those slant routes and really getting open, because his first step, being able to create separation, is really key in his game. But that slant route was taken out of the offense very early on this past season with Mitchell Trubisky under quarterback and with Kenny Pickett. With Ben Roethlisberger, he had his best seasons, so you wouldn't think the whole offensive game plan would take him out entirely for every single category. Touchdowns, receiving yards, receptions, and targets. Everything dipped last year. And we know last season was a very frustrating season for him, both on the field and off the field. Usually when you think of Deontay Johnson, his first few years in this league, his first 3 actually, 2019, 2020, 2021, he was a more very quiet wide receiver. If you remember, he was never someone to get angry. Yes, he would celebrate sometimes, but he wouldn't even celebrate too much. He was more of a quiet guy, not letting his voice be heard. And this past season, you've seen all the frustration on the field and on the sidelines as well. Just say the pass was overthrown or he wouldn't get the ball. You would see his very angry frustration on his face, and sometimes he would even get mad on the sidelines. That's something very rare that we never seen from Deontay Johnson before that was happening last season. And we know Deontay Johnson told Mitch Trubisky in the locker room that he wants the ball more and he needs the ball to be thrown to him more, because obviously he's the number 1 wide receiver on the team and he wasn't getting enough targets or receptions. So it was a very frustrating season, and no wonder why Deontay Johnson is taking a very subtle shot at Matt Canada via social media by his play calling. Now, going based off the tweet that he tweeted 2 fire emojis to the comments saying, this is how you get your athletes to buy into your offense. To be honest, giving my honest opinion on this, like I said, it's not a big shot. He didn't respond with words, but he still responded to the tweet with 2 fire emojis. That's why I'm saying it's very subtle shot. It's not really a very loud shot, because if he responded in comments and words, it could have been a much larger story. But since he responded in 2 fire emojis, it could be taken that he's just saying that Andy Reid's a good coach and he allows his players to do stuff and the Chiefs' offense is good. But then it could be taken that he's responded to a comment saying that's how you get your players more involved in the offense and to buy in more. So he's saying that's true as well. It could be taken either way. That's why I'm saying it really depends on how you look at it. Is he taking the shot? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, I'm going to bring you back all the way to a comment that was said after the Steelers' blowout loss to the Philadelphia Eagles that Deontay Johnson said. Here's what he said. We just got to play better. Y'all obviously know what's wrong. We're just out there playing, trying to win. So, he really said that in a subtle way again, because it's kind of a cryptic comment. How do you guys know what is wrong with the offense? How do you guys know what is wrong with the team? He's saying that you guys know what's wrong. And since he's saying you guys know what's wrong, the only person who was getting blame at the time for the whole Steelers offense on social media, be it the media or just the fans in general, was Matt Canada. That's who was getting the most blame. And he was saying, you guys obviously know what's wrong with the team. You see, he's just taking these cryptic comments to the next level, saying this comment about Matt Canada during the season and now in the off season, tweeting out 2 fire emojis. So it's not very loud comments, but it's very subtle. That's why some people yesterday, when this tweet was set out, was saying that Deontay Johnson was kind of taking shots at Matt Canada, and it was becoming more of a story because they seen Deontay Johnson's actions and his words towards Matt Canada or just the Steelers offense and team in general the past few years, and they were wondering why this is happening right now in the middle of the off season, almost heading into training camp. Obviously, we want there to be no drama at this time of the year between the Steelers team, Matt Canada and Deontay Johnson. We want a good season going into next season, but this is what happened yesterday. I just thought I'll let you guys know what was going on just in case if you didn't see it. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about this? Do you feel as though Deontay Johnson was just saying that Coach Reid has a good offense and he allows his players to put input to the offense, and that's a good thing? Or do you think he was taking a shot at Matt Canada and saying, basically, let me do this. I'm your number one wide receiver on the team. Let me come in, put some input into the offense, or even like Kenny Pickett, put some input to the offense. Your quarterback, your wide receivers is what makes up the team alongside your running back. Let us put some input into the offense to help you, because obviously he's been struggling, so maybe that'll actually help the offense get going. So, what one do you think it is? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you like Steelers content and analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for the channel as well so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. Click the bell down below so you never miss out whenever I post. And usually I cover more Steelers news and reports, but today I moved into the more rumor side of it and kind of the more drama. So I'm be covering everything for the Steelers for this upcoming season. If you want to stay up to date with everything going on, whether that's new players, kind of cut downs on the roster, and news, rumors, and reports, this is the best spot for Pittsburgh Steelers news to keep up to date with everything going on. And if you don't like reading articles or stuff like that, and you just want one spot to get everything Steelers football, this is a spot to be in. So, with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.